Coming up on Bloom, meet the queen of all trades, WWE superstar alum, Ariane Andrew.
Again, we do have, dysfunction or whatever trauma that it is. So it's my sassy way of delivering a message that I think is super powerful.
And a man in his 50s who pursued his dreams and became a successful Hollywood writer and director. His latest movie filmed right here in Tampa. Plus, how travel can give you a new perspective in life. We'll have all that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. I'm Gayle Guyardo. Welcome to Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. Today, we're going to help you ignite your world, and we're kicking off our show with a woman who pushes life to the limits, WWE alum Ariane Andrew. But her rise to fame comes with the same second guessing a lot of us women do to ourselves, putting up mental barriers that don't belong there.
And brother and all that stuff.
Definitely not.
Girl, oh, so now you don't remember. Back in September.
I don't even know why she's in the
No, you're back.
She's too pretty to be in here.
Definitely can't dance.
She has no talent.
Is she black, white, mixed? What is she? Her life.
She doesn't even have it.
Girl, wake up. You're on in 5 minutes. Okay. Love you. Good luck.
Joining me now to help all of us ignite our lives in celebration of International Women's Month is WWE alum Ariane Andrew, also known as the Queen of all trades. Ariane, welcome to Bloom. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
It's such a pleasure. Nice to see you again, girl. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So, Ariane, talk to me. I love the opening of that video because I think as soon as I watched it, it was like reminiscent of what goes on in my head or has over the years. And I think as women and as we're celebrating International Women's Month, we all need to get past the noise in our head.
Exactly. Yeah, the reason why this is important for me is because, I think we all have trauma in some form or fashion, whether that's family dysfunction or things that we've gone through or what life has presented for ourselves. So it's my sassy way of doing a song to empower women, to say we are strong enough, we are pretty enough, and giving girls that light that I feel like we really need because we do have like these inner voices in our head. Again, we do have dysfunction or whatever trauma that it is. So it's my sassy way of delivering a message that I think is super powerful.
Yeah, and you do focus, because the last time we spoke, we talked a lot about your passion for helping people through mental health issues and just, kind of representing strength in that area.
Exactly. Especially for someone like myself who does suffer with mental health. I'm very open with it. I have a diagnosis of ADHD, depression, and anxiety. And that feeling of like those inner voices of like that we battle with, a lot of times we assume things or we put ourselves in predicaments of like, instead of focusing on the present, we're so stuck in the past of what's happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future instead of focusing on the here and the now and the present, which is hard. I mean, yeah. We also live in such a world where you have social media, you have all these noises around us that can be very distracting.
Yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, you have really been a trailblazer and an example for so many of us. I know, your role in WWE Total Divas. You've launched your own wrestling promotion, Pound Town Wrestling. Tell me about that. Yeah,
so it all intertwines with exactly what I'm doing in my message. I feel like there was a need, especially in the independent circuit, to have people be seen and be heard. We are the first company ever to do something that we call a luxury independent circuit because, don't get me wrong, to each their own, but usually the independent is like in a gymnasium or someone's backyard. So we're like, why can't we bring luxury into the independent scene and also giving people an opportunity who typically wouldn't have it? We can't help, our height, our skin color and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of times opportunity isn't given based on these circumstances. So I wanted to create a company that allowed for diversity and inclusion, but also giving a whole different element of putting it in a club. So even if you don't watch wrestling, you can come party and hang out. So it's just kind of intertwining so many worlds and bringing it together. And for me, ultimately, it's not about the success or the fame. It's about bringing value to other people, because I truly feel like that's what creates happiness. Because if you could ask most people aren't happy, but I do feel like when you help other people, that brings that inner joy. And I just want to be able to help people and give people a platform to be seen and be heard.
You know, I just want to share a quick story, speaking of that, of girls that admire you and watch you. The last time we spoke, I told you about my daughter, Allie, who was getting into wrestling at the time, and she's not going to wrestle in college, but it really helped her through a mental health journey of her own. She wrote a powerful essay about it. She got into her college of choice with a full ride. And so it's interesting, like, even if you don't take it to your level, just watching you inspire young women to be their best is really remarkable.
I appreciate that. I mean, the journey has definitely been difficult. I just think about the journey because, you know, people see you on social media. So people think like, oh, this person's life is perfect. Even this morning, I'm like dealing with some major family things. And it's just like, people don't know what goes on behind closed doors or what people battle with. So for me, it's my way of all of the trauma, all of the stuff that I have built in me. It's like my way of releasing it, of, you know, helping other people go through this crazy thing that we call life, this beautiful mess that we call life.
Yes, it's so true. And you being so authentic, I think, helps it. We've got about a minute left, but I wanted to ask you, Ariane, what does being a woman mean to you?
Being a woman, to me, it just means embracing the skin that you're in. You know, again, we have social media, and I feel like a lot of people are trying to be the next person, but at the end of the day, like, you are your own superpower. Like, no one can do you like you. So that's what it feels like to be a woman, you know, strong, beautiful and bold. And yeah, when you're focused, resilient, and driven, literally the sky has no limit. So I would say that's like in a nutshell of what it means to be a woman for me.
Well, you're an incredible woman. I mean, from in the film industry, the wrestling promotion, music videos, you're an inspiration to all of us. Ariane, it was a pleasure seeing you again. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're going to share Ariane's story on BloomTampaBay.com. And when we come back, how career shifting can ignite your world. Meet a man who launched his film director's debut in his 50s, and one of his latest hits was shot right here in Tampa Bay. Bloom will be right back. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. Igniting your life could mean a major pivot in your career and trying something new. That's what our next guest did, and now in his 50s is directing major movies, including one filmed right here in Tampa Bay.
I'm Dr. Lawrence, the psychiatric physician.
Is my wife okay?
Oh, yes, she's totally fine.
Oh.
Except for the psychosis and the age regression, sorry.
Age regression?
She thinks she's 19. You're dating a millennial.
Joining me now is the writer and director of the throwback, Mario Garcia. Mario, welcome to Bloom.
Thanks for having me.
Man, I want to hear all about the movie because it seems amazing. But first, talk to me about just pivoting later in life and you know, and creating what really has been your dream all along.
Yeah, it's scary and exciting at the same time. But you know, I think once you start getting to a certain age, and in the movie, the theme is about how there really is no such thing as age. But you start kind of thinking that, hey, you know, like, I'm in the second half of the game here, and you start wondering if what you actually wanted out of life is going to happen. And so then I just realized the only way it's going to happen is if you make it happen for yourself.
Yeah, I think it's so cool. I've been on this whole kick of trying to express on the show that we really shouldn't put an expiration date on ourselves. And I know that you had, you know, a successful career, and then, you know, you just found that moment to pivot, and you took the leap of faith.
Right. Yeah. I fell and hit my head, and then no. I think that's kind of what it is. It's that. Two things I learned is, one, you have to make it happen for yourself, and two, you have to kind of be a little fearless about it.
So tell us about the movie.
The movie is a comedy about a middle-aged couple that are stuck in professional and personal ruts, and after kind of an incident, the wife wakes up and has a post-traumatic disorder, and she can't remember the last 26 years. She thinks she's 19 and still a sophomore in college, and so you know, she's wondering like, hey, my life didn't turn out the way I wanted it, and you know, I've got this husband now and kids, and so while she's partying with the neighbor's 19-year-old daughter, the husband has to kind of handle things at home, and he kind of learns to appreciate her role and their lives together, and so it's about that.
And you brought some notable actors right here to the Tampa Bay area. What was that like working with them?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, I'm a first-time director with this movie, and when you hire a great cast and great actors, you just kind of stay out of the way, and it makes your job a lot easier.
Yeah, and what about Will Sasso? I mean, he's kind of really like been notable in some films. I was just watching Louder Milk on Netflix, which is he seems hilarious and real. Is he that way in real life?
He really is, and I was like I learned not to yell cut right away after like what I wrote finished, because he had so much magic. Him and Justina together, they would have some funny lines, so I just kind of would let them kind of do it themselves.
So how does it feel? I mean, you have a vision, you write it, you direct it, you know, do all the blocking. To see it come to fruition, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's still surreal to me, but it's a lot of work, and it gets released now on Friday, so I feel like the work is not done yet, but it was rewarding at the end of the day to kind of, it's even being in the scene and watching actors saying your words is still kind of surreal to me.
What would you say to people that want to pivot, they want to be courageous, they want to try something new, but they're scared?
Yeah, I would say that it's definitely not easy, and it's definitely challenging. But if you really believe in yourself, then you can kind of take baby steps. You don't have to do it all at once, but just start taking baby steps to get there.
What's next for you?
I'm still writing. I'm writing another comedy, and I'm producing another film for one of the actors that was in the film. So that's kind of what I'm focused on now. Now,
is this something, like you said, you went to Tampa Catholic here locally, and is this something that you always dreamt of doing, even when you were young?
I did. I always I wanted to be a novelist, and then I kind of transferred into movies, and moved out to Los Angeles right out of college. And Hollywood has a way to kind of show you how far away you are from it.
Yeah.
So ended up starting a business, and I sold it in 2013 and kind of got back to this. So it's always been kind of, I always say that even when I was running my business, it was my hobby because I really wanted to do this. So.
And growing up here, like me, I mean, you must be excited that you could, Tampa's so grown up now.
Yeah. I'm excited that Tampa is a part of the movie. You know, it wasn't that I shot it here. It's that I talk about Tampa, and we show a lot of the great parts of this area. And the film commissioners in Tampa and St. Pete were awesome to work with.
Yeah, that's great. You know, we're talking a lot today about how Tampa's becoming a hub, hopefully. I know we've got a Hallmark movie that we're going to be talking about here in just a moment. But hey, listen, congratulations on just kind of embracing life. You know, I know you're inspiring a lot of folks out there to just do it.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
All right, well, it's a pleasure meeting you. And what we're going to do is we're going to share Mario's incredible story and tell you how to watch the movie. Just head to bloomtampabay.com. And when Bloom returns, how travel can help ignite your world. That's right, we're going to talk to holistic coach Josh Valentine when we come back. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. Traveling has the remarkable ability to ignite your world in so many ways. By planning transformative travel experiences, it can shape your life and fuel personal growth. Joining me now with more is holistic life coach Josh Valentine. Josh, it is so great to see you.
Always great being here, Gayle.
You know, you and I talk about travel a lot. It's really what you're famous for, is getting out and exploring, and it's a life changer.
Absolutely. There's a saying that traveling the world is like participating in a classroom without walls, and I can tell you just from personal experience, traveling to all the wonders of the world, all of the inhabited continents, that it has most certainly shaped my character more than anything.
And you know, traveling doesn't have to be this insanely expensive experience. There's ways to do it and really immerse yourself in the experience.
Oh yeah, most definitely. There's so many options these days. And for example, backpacking, I once did a solo trip where I backpacked all around the world, and you can literally stay in hostels these days for less than $20 a night. And they're getting very innovative with many hostels. They're not like back in the day where it's kind of, you know, a little suspicious there. There's so many incredible hostels around the world that you can stay for very affordable prices.
And you say sometimes if you don't have anybody to travel with, that shouldn't deter you. Solo travel is becoming huge.
Oh, most definitely. I think one of the best ways that you can find yourself is through solo travel. I most certainly have just found myself just traveling around the world by myself, whether it be to the Middle East or going to Rome, to the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican, or going out to Peru and the Sacred Valley, and all these incredible places, even Australia, climbing the Sydney Bridge. All these experiences that I've done solo over the years have just been so rewarding and have reaped a lot of benefits personally.
And you also get the opportunity to truly see firsthand other people's cultural experiences.
Most definitely. I always tell people, because these days, a lot of resorts, a lot of cruise ships, they try to sort of hoard their tourists and keep them to themselves, obviously, so they don't spend money outside of the resort. But I find that the best travel experiences is when you can just hang out with locals, have a local beer, hang out, have conversations, learn about their culture, immerse yourself in their world. And I think that that's where you truly get the most benefit when you travel.
You know, for me on a personal level, until I met my husband, I was scared to travel. I didn't grow up in a family that did a lot of traveling. My dad was scared of flying, and so I never really embarked on a lot of trips. And then I had a crazy demanding job that they would never give me the time off to take trips. So I've been in a space in my life for the last few years where I do have a little bit of time to travel, and it's amazing. I wanted to share some video. My husband has the most incredible knack for planning family vacations that bring us together and let us explore by bike or by foot some of the most beautiful sceneries. You see a cow
incredible.
Walking along the road there. I got actually splattered with a little bit of his manure. I didn't make it by quite as easily as as my daughter did. Yeah, so we're in Switzerland there, and there were times that I was so wowed by the beauty surrounding me that I thought, man, did I just die and go to heaven? Because you go places, and here we are in Michigan. A lot of people don't realize that that's one of the best summer experiences of a lifetime. But these are times and memories that you never really forget, and I like to capture them all on video so that we look back and we cherish those moments together, because your kids are very young, but mine are growing up fast, and you don't get these days and years back.
Most definitely. That's so beautiful. And I know one thing about travel, you heard me mention this before, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Children don't remember time, but they do remember experiences. So life, the more distinctive experiences you have, the longer and the fuller your life ultimately feels, because you have more reference points. A lot of people, they do the same thing, the same mundane experiences, and that's why life just seems so short for them. So being able to travel, even locally, is a beautiful thing, which I definitely recommend. Rather than going all around the world, experience the United States first for what it has to offer. Even out here in the Bay Area, there's so much that you can do that's so incredible, and that way when you do finally travel, you can talk about your home country and be able to share a little bit about the culture and everything like that.
Yeah, and that's what we started with our family. Like traveling with 4 small kids wasn't affordable at the time. So literally we would sit on the incredible beaches here and really make it an experience and go stand-up boarding or kayaking and doing different cool things across the Tampa Bay area, because where we live is paradise in itself. And then you know, you kind of get your sea legs, so to speak, and then next thing you know, you are able to maybe plan trips that are a little bit more extravagant or a little bit more of a travel experience.
Exactly, and you've heard me mention in the past as well, just planning the trip in advance, you can save tons of money, and there's so many ways to go about it, and so many different platforms that you can book flights through and get very creative with the process. So I always recommend for people, just be intentional, set your intention for the year, because if you don't actually plan it, you're going to be less likely to follow through on that vacation.
And if you plan it a year ahead, which is another big trick that my husband likes to do, and he does all the points.
That's
I mean,
incredible.
He
Yeah.
really
Oh, yeah.
it makes it where it's financially feasible for us to travel. But by planning ahead, he also starts to pay down the trip
Yes,
a little bit at a time, so you're not stuck with this sticker shock once you get on vacation.
Yeah, and even for road trips are very affordable as well. So let's just say, as you know, flights typically cost the most money if you want to go across the pond with children, especially. Like this year, we're going to Cape Town and Zimbabwe. But there are times where we just road trip locally, and you don't have to pay for any flights. So that's the beautiful thing about living in America. You could literally just take a road trip out to Destin or Smoky Mountains or something like that. And so many amazing places that you can do just to save money. But get out there, travel the world. It'll be the best thing that anyone can do.
All right, Josh, thank you so much. It's always great catching up with you.
Great being here.
All right, we're going to share Josh's story on BloomTampaBay.com. And when we come back, it's time for a little Luck of the Irish as the famous Hillsborough River in Tampa Bay turns green. We'll be right back. Living the Tampa Bay lifestyle means enjoying the sand, sun, and outdoors fun. So get out, get active, and nurture those healthy habits. Hey there, I'm Gayle Guyardo, host of Bloom. Now there's a new all-inclusive place with everything you need to shape your lifestyle, boost your health, and improve your wellness. BloomTampaBay.com, Tampa Bay's premier health and wellness website, made to help you feel good. Whether you're a fitness fanatic, beauty buff, or just want to take your first step towards positive change, this free website is for you. See the Bay Area's hottest fitness products, the latest workout crazes, and learn nutrition tips from the experts. Plus, discover local events and experiences designed with your well-being in mind. Cultivate a healthy mind, body, and soul. Check out BloomTampaBay.com, your local health and wellness website. That's BloomTampaBay.com.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Renewal by Andersen of Tampa.
It's time for your window to the weekend, presented by Renewal by Andersen of Tampa. And it's also time for a little Luck of the Irish, because this weekend is the River o' Green on the famous Hillsborough River in downtown Tampa. Joining me now with all of the fun details from the Downtown Partnership is their Director of Public Space Operations and Programming, Rachel Radowick. Rachel, it's so great to see you.
It's so great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So this is such a fun event. Tell us about it.
So Tampa's Downtown River of Green, presented by Grow Financial, is an amazing, fun, family-friendly activity to do the St. Patrick's Day weekend. And downtown is really going to be the headquarters for everything St. Patty's Day. And we kick off at 11 a.m. and go till 6 p.m.
And this year there's something new. I understand the Rough Riders are going to actually hold their St. Patty's Day parade at the event.
We're extremely excited for them to make the move into downtown Tampa from Ybor. They thought it would be great just to join forces, bring two great events together, and their parade kicks off at 5. So we even have an hour of overlap between the two, so you can enjoy both of them at the same time.
So talk to me about the experience, and I always like to point out for folks watching, because you see the Hillsborough River, it's so much fun to see it turn green, and that's all done very safely.
It is. It's extremely safe. It's all biodegradable. They developed it for search and rescue missions. It's so safe they even use it in eye surgery. So it's a bright Kelly shade of green. It's almost like your shirt when on a really sunny day. It's beautiful. It's a sight to be seen. And that's not the only focal point of the day. We have live Irish music, Irish dancing, and this year we're trying really hard to infuse some new Irish heritage elements as well too.
That's really, really exciting. And again, it's all in the beautiful Curtis Dixon Waterfront Park, where a lot of the festivities, will there be food and things for the kids to do?
Yep. Always we'll have some great food out there. We have food trucks. We have some people specializing in Irish fare. We'll have beer for those folks who want to participate in that. Not green beer, though. Kids activities. And new, we'll have some actual Irish-themed activities. You'll have the stone lift and things along tug of war, things like that.
Let's talk about the Tampa Downtown Partnership and how it's helping to grow the events in downtown, which is so important because, you know, a lot of us waited for a really long time for not only that riverfront waterfront walk to be completed, which is just so acclaimed and it's so incredible, but for downtown to become what it is today.
I've been with the partnership for 10 years, and it's just unbelievable the transformation that's happened in that time. But the Downtown Partnership strives really hard to bring these family experiences to everybody. And all of our events are free and open to the public. Bring whoever you want. Bring your furry friends with you if you want to. But we really want to have those equitable experiences for all, especially as we move towards really enhancing the 7 neighborhoods that make up our downtown.
And let's talk about the 7 neighborhoods because they're walkable, they're fun, it's live, work, play.
Oh my God, yes, live, work, play. And who would have thought we'd be saying that about downtown Tampa? And I'm so happy that we have arrived here. We have 7 neighborhoods that make up our downtown, which is about 1.25 miles square. It's extremely walkable, but there's multiple modes of transportation that you can use. And we really promote that on large event days like what we have coming up on Saturday, because you want to be able to easily move around, and sometimes the car's not the best option.
You know, there are a lot of times that I park here at Channel 8, which we're right on the river, and we see the Green River go sweep right on by. And I walk to Water Street. I walk into downtown Tampa. It's a really walkable city now, and there's something to do at the turn of every pass.
It is. The Riverwalk makes it unbelievable. The Tico Line streetcar as well, too. Our beautiful weather. That's why I think we do it better than any other St. Patrick's Day celebration, because where else is it going to be 75 and sunny where you see a Green River?
Yeah, it's going to be the perfect day, everyone. Well, it's such a pleasure to see you. Thanks for coming back to Bloom.
Thanks for having me.
And River Oak Green is this Saturday in downtown Tampa from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're going to put everything you need to know on BloomTampaBay.com. We'll be right back.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Renewal by Anderson of Tampa.
You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We begin where your checkup ends. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. We're back with Bloom's Ignite Your Life edition, and we spotted something really special on social media. Director of Photography Mike May and co-star Jesse Cove sharing a moment after filming a scene right here in Tampa Bay on the set of Taste of Love. Joining us now with the emotional support and the importance of that as you live out your dreams are actors Jesse Cove and Aaron Cahill. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure, and as you just heard, our whole show is about igniting your world, and support and being lifted by the people around you is so important. And just by listening to you guys as we get ready for this interview, it sounds like that's all you do for each other.
Yeah, I mean, we're a huge support of each other. I'm a huge fan of Aaron. It's been that way since day one.
I can say unabashedly, Jesse Cove is the most wonderful man to know and to be friends with, and not just to me, but to everybody on that set. You can see from that picture how he is. He's just present and loving.
I love it. So tell us a little bit about the project that you guys worked on together.
Jesse.
Okay. A Taste of Love is a great film that Aaron actually co-produced as well. And it's, about Taylor Ryder, Aaron's character, who basically is a famous chef in Atlanta, and then she goes home to see her family where her parents own a restaurant, and she's got these job opportunities that have come up with her work, and she's trying to figure out whether she should take those jobs and boost her career, and also the financial aspects of that as well, or to stay home where she sees my character again, Jacob, and who was her old flame from when she was younger, and a little bit of drama, comes into play there, and she has this internal battle of what she should do. And it's just a beautiful movie that we shot in Dunedin, Florida, which is literally like Pleasantville in real life. And that's, I don't want to give it all away, but you can see it there. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, what was it like being right here in the Tampa Bay area, because Bloom is headquartered in Tampa, Florida, just a stone's throw from Dunedin. So I've personally been there so many times. And to your point, there are just little pockets here in Florida that are just, like, you feel like you're on another planet. They're so beautiful.
Yeah, we both felt that way. And Jesse can talk about it. Every time we've been lucky enough to go back a couple times for the movie to promote it. And every time we are like, oh, we don't want to leave. We want to come back. How can we live here? How can we do a sequel? It's idyllic. It's gorgeous.
It's true. What Aaron said. I mean, we loved being down there. It was just the people of Dunedin were so warm and welcoming. We were lucky to premiere the movie 5 days before it premiered on Hallmark at the Dunedin Film Festival, which was just amazing for the people of Dunedin to actually see the movie and see their restaurants and their their actual locations that we filmed there on screen. And it was just a really amazing experience. And I love filming in Florida, and Aaron and I have talked about this too. We want to come back as much as possible because it's just so amazing to film and to make movies and television in Florida. And I know that they're trying to get more films and television shows made in Florida. So I'm a huge supporter of that, and hopefully we're trying to, like Aaron said, get maybe a sequel in the works here for this. We ended up getting numbers back from Hallmark, and it actually did well with them. So it's very exciting. So hopefully we can go back to Dunedin and share more with all the people there.
That's awesome. And Aaron, real quick, I know you have also another passion project that you work on, and that is building schools.
Oh, thank you for asking. Also, that's because Jesse, you guys, right before we started the interview, he was like, Aaron, you should talk about your schools. So Jesse, thank you so much for asking. Yes, we work with an amazing organization called Build On. They've been around for 30 years, and they target in-need communities all over the world. And they work with kids and after-school programs here in America. So if you get a chance, go on my social media, the Aaron Cahill, ErinCahill. That was a shameless plug. Also, please go on Jesse Cove, JESSEKOVE. But you can learn more about Build On and what they do. It's just an incredible. If you're looking for a way to use your life for something good, and it's just a gorgeous way to do it, and it actually leaves a lasting impact in the world.
I love it. Well, thank you both so much for joining us on Bloom. Congratulations on your film. We'll be looking for a sequel coming up soon. Bye, guys.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We're going to share this story on BloomTampaBay.com. And coming up, it's time for this week's What the Health with the Today Show's Joy Bauer. She's igniting our world with her delicious recipes when Bloom returns. It's time for this week's What the Health, and we are celebrating National Nutrition Month with the Today Show's nutrition, health, and lifestyle expert, Joy Bauer. Joy, it's great to see you.
Hey, Gayle, it's always great to see you. And I have to say the Mediterranean diet is a perfect feature for Nutrition Month. It offers significant health benefits, all supported by science, research. We have oodles of studies showing that it boosts brain health, it promotes longevity, it increases energy, and of course, it enhances heart health. And by the way, it consistently ranks as the #1 diet when U.S. News and World Report comes out with its diet list. I think this year, 2024, was the 4th year in a row, which is pretty amazing for a diet.
Yeah, it really is. I was just going to ask you if it's still holding that top ranking, and it's just proven to work, and it's downright delicious. Proof is in what you're making us today.
Yeah, and I think most importantly, when it comes to the diet, it's an accessible approach to healthy eating, right? It really emphasizes nutrient-rich plant-based foods, vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, and heart-healthy olive oil. And I think we're going to be hearing a lot about avocado oil as well. But I really love these plants. I have 2 delicious and super simple scrumptious dishes to show you. And we're starting with my Mediterranean quinoa salad with a zesty lemon vinaigrette. And I have it right here. You see this?
Yes.
Now we're going to make it. So it's just layers and layers of good for you antioxidant-rich produce. So you see tomatoes and cucumbers. I put the cooked quinoa in there. Purple cabbage for some extra anthocyanins. You give it a really great toss, and now I'm making my zesty lemon vinaigrette. Very simple. It's just extra virgin olive oil, lemon juice, a little Dijon mustard, lemon zest, salt and pepper. You whisk it up. It will stay in the fridge for about a week, but I'm telling you, you're going to pour it all over that salad. And I don't know if you saw what I did, but after I mixed it, that's when I put on the feta. So I hold off before dressing it a little bit, and you could pour on the dressing and sort of use your tongs and toss it in batches so you hit that exact right coating. I love this salad. I hope everybody makes it.
Yeah, that looks absolutely delicious. I'm going to try that one. And next you have a sheet pan dish.
Yeah, so I love sheet pan dishes. 1, because they're delicious. 2, because they're very, very simple to not only prep, but to clean up as well. And this one that I'm going to show you brings all of the flavors of the Mediterranean. It's charred vegetables with shrimp. But I think what's really cool about it is it's great for those sort of hectic weeknight suppers, but also if you're serving a group of guests for some special dinner party or a brunch, it also looks elegant and sophisticated enough to use it for that as well. So it sort of plays double duty. So I'm showing you here the start, but I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch. And so I start with a pound each of fresh green beans and broccoli. I put them out on my baking sheet in a single layer. I mist it with olive oil, spray a little salt, pepper, and cumin. While they're roasting, I'm making the marinade for my shrimp. And that's just a little bit of lime juice, extra virgin olive oil, some cumin, salt, and pepper. I nestle those shrimp in between the vegetables and I put it back in for just about 5 minutes and the whole thing comes together. And the oven was set at 400 degrees and I like to take it over the top. So when it comes out, it's ready to serve. It is absolutely ready. But if you want to add a little more flavor, I squeeze some fresh lime over and I add a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese, or you could do feta again as well. And it's like, mwah, just perfect. A real chef's kiss.
That looks so good. And I love your one sheet pan meals because it's just so easy for cleanup and even the preparation. Now, you had mentioned earlier that we were going to see more recipes trending with avocado oil. How do you use avocado oil?
So avocado oil has a very similar fat composition as olive oil. So that's why I think all the studies that we're doing on extra virgin olive oil and olive oil, it's very rich in something called monounsaturated fat, which helps drive down cholesterol. It helps ease inflammation. Every study we tested on, it comes back with positive results. So because avocado oil is incredibly similar when we compare the composition, the lipid profile of olive oil and avocado oil, that's why I'm pretty confident that it's going to end up tied in a lot of these reports that we do. The reason that avocado oil is super beneficial, unlike olive oil, it has a very, very high smoke point, which means that you could use it for all sorts of high temp cooking, but also it has a neutral flavor. So like canola oil and grapeseed oil, only it's healthier, you can use it in baked goods as well. It's just that right now it's a little pricey. It's not as easy to find, but be on the lookout because I have a feeling it's going to be the new kid on the block and soon to become a mainstay.
Yeah, I bought it in a spray form and I make my poached eggs in the morning and they're super delicious, but I wanted to hear your viewpoint. We appreciate you, Joy. Those recipes you shared with us today are absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Oh, you got it. Bon appetit, everybody. Mwah.
Mwah. And we're going to share Joy's recipes on BloomTampaBay.com. Make sure you follow her on social media. She'll have your mouth watering like she does with me. And before we go to break, it's time for today's Bloom trivia question. True or false? The Mediterranean diet prohibits the consumption of all processed foods, refined sugars, refined grains, and trans fats. We'll have the answer later on Bloom. It's time for Cooking Funds the Cure as Bloom teams up with the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation to find more targeted treatment for children fighting cancer. Joining us now is pediatric cancer warrior Aubriana and celebrity chef and National Pediatric Cancer Foundation Ambassador Katie Chin. It's good to see you.
Great to see you guys.
And I'm with warrior Aubriana here, who, by the way, I found out when she was 2 years old, secretly ate a gallon of ice cream all by yourself. That sounds like a sweet treat, but this one is actually a healthy sweet treat, right, Chef Katie?
That's right. Today we're making healthy apple donuts. Look at that.
That looks really, really good. So you're getting a little taste of something sweet along with a healthy apple.
Well, yes, because as we know, an apple a day, that's what they say, keeps the doctor away. But what we're doing today is we're going to be spreading these apple slices. We just used a core with some healthy cream cheese.
Ooh.
I like to use low-fat cream cheese. So you get protein and some dairy. And then we're just going to sprinkle them with your favorite toppings. But I went ahead and I dyed my whipped cream cheese with some food coloring. This is totally optional, but I think it makes it so fun, especially if you use neon food coloring. So I just have some pink, green, and yellow whipped cream cheese ready to go. We core our apple, slice it, make a hole in the middle so it looks just like a donut. Don't you love it? So creative and fun, right?
We love it. Are you ready to get going, Aubriana?
I am. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know. You're a really good cook, aren't you?
I'm trying.
Trying. All right.
What kind of toppings do you guys have over there?
So we've got purple and pink, and Aubriana has like neon green and orange, which is super cool. And you know, the whole reason, you know, and Chef Katie, you can talk about this too, the whole reason you're involved in Cooking Fun's The Cure is to, you know, help kids find more targeted treatment and not such aggressive, because poor Aubriana, you know, years ago they discovered a brain tumor, and the treatment itself was equally as hard as dealing with all the surgery, but you're feeling a lot better now,
yes,
right?
I am.
That's the good news, and I know that's why you're an ambassador.
Absolutely. That's so amazing. I just am such a huge fan of pediatric cancer. Their mission to find more targeted, less toxic treatments, because as we know, 43 kids a day are diagnosed with cancer, which is way too much.
Yeah, way too much. And so, you know, a lot of kids are out on spring break or about to be, and you know, they can spend a little time in the kitchen. Have you been on spring break? Are you doing anything fun?
I have been on spring break. I am super excited because I went to the mall yesterday and I hung out with a few friends.
Oh, that's really good. And now we're cooking on Bloom during spring break. So it's a really good time, and this is a good time to have fun in the kitchen with your kids.
Definitely. Is this something you think your friends would like to do with you, Aubriana?
I don't know if Brianna could hear you, but is this something, do you like cooking in the kitchen a little bit?
I do.
She likes it a lot. Hey, Chef Katie, we absolutely love this recipe. We're going to put our sprinkles on top as we speak, and it's a pleasure to see you as always. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming. Have a wonderful spring break and enjoy.
All right, thanks. And we're going to share this recipe on bloomtampabay.com. We'll be right back. It's time for today's Bloom Trivia question. True or false? The Mediterranean diet prohibits the consumption of all processed foods, refined sugars, refined grains, and trans fats. The answer is false. It does encourage you, though, strongly to limit consumption of processed foods, but it does not prohibit it. Well, thank you so much for tuning into Bloom today. You can catch Bloom anytime by following us on social media. We're on all major platforms, so get a behind-the-scenes look at all of the innovative breakthrough health and wellness conversations and incredible guests that we have right here on Bloom. And don't forget to check out our podcast, The Bloom Health Club. You can catch it live on Facebook and YouTube on Mondays at 2 p.m. We take a deep dive and have extended conversations with some of the top guests that we have right here on Bloom. Of course, you can stream episodes anytime on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Well, we hope you'll tune in again on the next Bloom presented by Lifeguard Imaging. A Tampa man is on a mission to educate other men about the importance of checking for breast cancer. We'll share his inspiring story. And founder of Trauma Survivor's Guide to Life Abundantly, Dana Rutherford, is joining us with the importance of talking about past traumas. So stay healthy, everyone, and I will see you on the next Bloom.
Content segments during Bloom were paid for by Renewal by Andersen of Tampa.
Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.